So hello guys and welcome to Guide to Glory. I am Yash Gandhi, and as I had said in the previous video, in this video we will be talking about which books are to be read in the first year of MBBS. So before going into the books, let's see what should be the study priority order in first year of MBBS. So in first year of MBBS, the most important subject is anatomy. It is the one of the most important subjects which should be read in anatomy, which should be read in the first year of anatomy. So what is included in anatomy? So anatomy comes under as general anatomy plus gross anatomy plus histology and embryology. So anatomy in itself is a very vast subject, and it includes four other, you can say, subjects like, or four other different topics in it. So which books to read in it and all, that we will see in this video itself. But the most important thing is gross anatomy. You should be spending your maximum amount of time reading gross anatomy in the first year of MBBS. If and you should divide equal amount of time in the remaining time to histology, embryology, and physiology, biochemistry. But the most important thing which should be read is gross anatomy. Now, next comes physiology or biochemistry. Now, the second study priority order depends somewhat on the strictness of the department in your college. In some of the colleges, the biochemistry department is a bit strict, just like our college. So it takes tests on a regular basis, different types of assessments and vivas. So you need to study more biochemistry, and they also ask a bit of difficult questions. So for that matter, you need to study biochemistry more than physiology. But in some colleges, the physiology department might be strict. So it would be reverse. Then you might need to study more of a physiology. And it also depends on you, that what is your interest and your study priority order. If you are able to learn physiology very easily and in a very short time, then you can make it your third priority and you can study biochemistry for more time, and vice versa. Now, what happens in biochemistry is that biochemistry is very small, but according to the new curriculum provided by MCI, that we have to give 100 marks paper in the university exam. So you might be knowing it, but if you don't know that there are totally two papers, and in each subject in the university exams. So there is one like anatomy one, paper one, anatomy paper two, physiology paper one, physiology paper two, biochemistry paper one, and biochemistry paper two. So each subject is divided into two papers, and in each paper, half of the syllabus comes. So practically, it is not possible to make 100 marks question paper from biochemistry. Although they always make it, they were making it years before, and they are making it now as well. We have also given that 100 marks question paper. So it's not that it is not possible, but the thing is that biochemistry is such a small subject that to prepare 100 marks paper, and that too from half the syllabus. So what happens is that in that very minor things and very detailed, very small little things are asked. For that, you might require a detailed reading. The next comes physiology. Now, on the first look, all the physiology books look big, and physiology in itself looks very lengthy. But physiology in itself is very easy to understand. There are many factors for it. One of them is that many of the things you have already encountered in your 11th and 12th standard. So you are very much familiar with many of the things, and you just need to add on a few points to that to complete that entire topic. And in itself also, it is very easy to understand. It's like a story, or basically a concept based, and very much easy to understand and remember, and also to reproduce in exams. Even if you have understood the concepts, and if you don't remember in the exact manner, you can recall it and you can write it in your own manner. And also the thing is that selected questions, which are the selected IMP questions, are repeated again and again every year in each colleges. They don't ask something a very random topic in the exam. So it's generally, students find it generally easy to read and remember. So now let's come to the first first subject which is the most important in the first year of MBBS, that is anatomy, and in that also gross anatomy. So which books to be read in the gross anatomy? So BD Chaurasia, it is the main book which is read by most of the students all over the India. It has been read from years along by a lot of doctors and a lot of students, and it is by far the best book according to me also. In it, the things are given in a very simplified manner, in a heading based manner, which I told you that how you should read. But also I will make a very separate video regarding how to study each subject. But the thing is that in it, the diagrams also very much simplified and easy to remember and recall. So it is by far the best book and recommended by all the teachers and all the students, read by most of the students. But the thing is that in the recent changes, as they are updating their books, they are improving their images and they are trying to make it more 3D. But in that, what happened? And also they are trying to add more information. So in that, what happens is sometimes it becomes a very lengthy book, and sometimes the diagrams become too much 3D and too much difficult to reproduce in exam. The main reason of BD Chaurasia becoming so famous was that it's easy to reproduce diagrams in exams. So that thing is decreasing nowadays. So there are now different alternatives coming up, and students are generally changing to different books. Many students are changing to different books. So one of them is Vishram Singh. In Vishram Singh, the diagrams are given in a very much simplified manner. So what you can do is you can take BD Chaurasia as a book for reading, standard book for reading, and you can have the PDF of Vishram Singh, which is easily available on the internet, and see the diagrams from them and draw the diagrams from Vishram Singh. And if you find it comfortable or affordable, you can buy also, or maybe 2 3 of your friends can buy it. Especially this is very much common practice seen in the hostel students, when 2 3 roommates together buy some books. And in neuroanatomy as well, I recommend you to purposefully buy Vishram Singh and read only. What happens in BD Chaurasia is that in neuroanatomy, it becomes a bit difficult to understand, whereas the language of Vishram Singh's neuroanatomy is very much simple and easy to understand. Neuroanatomy is not like dissection and learning and etc. It is more about understanding, just like physiology. It has a lot of things to be remembered, but it is still more conceptual based rather than on memory based. Now coming to the next point, you might be wondering that why I haven't mentioned the name of Gray's Anatomy. It is by far the most popular and the gold standard book. So why haven't mentioned the name of Gray's Anatomy? The thing is that it is, yes, it is indeed a gold standard textbook. Even in the PG entrance exam also, all the references are given from Gray's Anatomy also, of all the answers of MCQs. So it indeed is a gold standard book. But the thing is that it is a very much lengthy book and very much difficult to read. Its language is a bit tough, and you might be requiring more than one reading for that book. So in today's era of digital learning, there are many different videos, YouTubers, many different sources available from which you can understand one concept in a very less time and in a more easy manner and much more better manner. So I don't think now it's better to read Gray's Anatomy, though you can read it if you are a bookworm and if you are still one of those kind of students who believe in reading books more than learning from internet sources. It's completely up to you. It's not, there is nothing wrong in that, and it is a very good book. Now let's talk about also about Netter's Atlas and Cunningham, which you might have heard of these books. Now Netter's Atlas contains all the 3D images and different types of diagrams, which makes it very much easy to understand different types of topics in gross anatomy. But the thing is that nowadays there are many different apps available, 3D apps, in which you can rotate the entire body, you can do different types of dissections. You can filter different kind of things according to you, like muscle or nerve or artery, and you can make a combination of it as well. You can also see the different types of action in one app only. So nowadays students are shifting to app from Netters Atlas. So, and I also feel that apps are much more better in Netters Atlas, because if you want to view something 3D from a different angle, then that you can't do in Netters Atlas, because it is like a one of picture given. So if you are looking for something and if it is there in the book, it's good, but it's not there, then again you are stuck and you have to go to internet searching for images. So instead of taking Netters Atlas, it's better to take some 3D app and view it in it. Coming to Cunningham, Cunningham was used as a dissection book a long time before, but nowadays in this digital era, there are many YouTubers available which have different dissection videos. So instead of reading in Cunningham how to do different types of dissections and what to see, what you can do is you can watch those YouTube videos of dissections and you can understand them, and then next day you can do dissections. Don't worry, I'm going to make a separate video on good YouTubers regarding each and every different topics of in which they are good. So I'm going to make a different videos of good YouTube channels. In that I will mention the name of the YouTubers whose dissection videos are very good. Okay, so that's about gross anatomy. Now coming to histology and embryology. In histology, and also in embryology, all the students use IB Singh as the book. So IB Singh is, I think, is the only book. There are many other books available, but it is the book followed by most of the students, and it is a very good book. Now coming to IB Singh, in histology, the main thing is journal. So and also the photos of slides and all those things. So you can keep it as a reference, or maybe keep it for diagrams or reading at the time of exams. But if you want to read histology, then read from your journals provided from your colleges. Most of the colleges provide journals for histology, and in it all the topics are given very nicely in point wise format, which you can easily remember and reproduce in exam, and you will get good marks. And anyways, in exams the main marks are for diagrams which you draw of the slide, and using your HND pencils, and what you write about its identification points. So you can keep IB Singh as a human histology book, but as a side just for reference. And coming to embryology, it's by far the only book which is required for embryology. You need nothing else. Also, along with few YouTube videos which I will mention in my how to study anatomy video in good YouTube videos, good YouTube channels video, I will tell you about some good YouTubers for embryology. Apart from that, even if you don't watch those YouTube videos, it's okay, because in embryology, very few selected important questions are asked each and every year. And for that, IB Singh's book is very easy to remember also, and its diagrams are also very good, which you can easily reproduce in exams. Now, one more point I would like to add is that IB Singh has also launched his books for gross anatomy, as you can see on the side in this video. Now, when we were in college, many of our teachers told that it is a very good book, uh, and it's in everything it is given in point-wise format, so it is easy for you to remember and all. But as ma'am had told us in the mid of the year, so and most of us had already bought BD Chaurasia, so we didn't buy that IB Singh book. But the thing is that JP publication books are very good, and they are very easy to remember. That's what I have seen from my experience, and that's what I have observed. So the thing is that it is a JP publication book, so you can try it. You can ask from your teachers that is it a good book, should you buy it, or what you can do is, as I said, you can buy it among your 2 or 3 friends, and then you can use it turn by turn. There is a strong possibility that it might be even a better book than BDC. So just try it and ask for from your teachers. Now next, coming to physiology. In physiology, I would recommend you two books, Indu Khurana and AKJ. Indu Khurana is a bit more lengthy, I would say, but a bit more information would also be in it. And AKJ is a bit more simpler, but still, more or less, they are almost similar. And most of the students use either Indu Khurana or AKJ. Both of the books are very good, and you can pick any of the book as per your choice. I will guarantee you, you are not going to regret. But still, if you wish, you can download any of its PDF or see from your friends or your seniors, and then decide which book to go for it. You can take either of them, but still, both books are equally good, and you are not going to regret. Now, the what I another very famous book which is very popular among students, and you would be heard, you will hear it from many of your colleagues and many of your seniors, that you should read Sambulingam for physiology. See, as I also told previously, Sambulingam is a GP publication book. I have personally not used that book, but I have also heard from many of my friends telling that it is very simple and very easy to remember book, and it is a very good book. But the thing in Sambulingam is that it is not so popular amongst teachers, because if you many teachers don't like students reading Sambulingam, and I've also seen teachers scolding students that don't read Sambulingam. Many of the things are given wrong in it. See, what in my opinion, what I believe is that there it might be a possibility that few of the things are given wrong in it, but that you can correct with time or with making mistakes in small exams, or as you progress in your other years like second year, third year, you gradually come to know what is correct and what is not correct. And if it is a good book, as it is of GP publications, then you can surely uh, go for it. But beware of teachers. Don't let the teachers know that you are reading Sambulingam. That's the thing. And also, to be on a safer side, it's good that you take Indu Purana or Ekejan. They are equally good books, and mm, you are not going to regret taking those books. Once again, you might be wondering that why I haven't mentioned the name of Guyton. Guyton is the most popular book, I would say, among, even if those people who are not in medical college, they also might be knowing the name of the book Guyton. It is been read by students since many years, and also it has been displayed in many of the YouTube videos when there is a mention of any medical school or medical college or something like that. And also there is, along with it, there is another book called Genome. So these two books are considered as gold standard textbooks. As I also told about Grey's Anatomy, that these books are very good. I have Guyton, but I have read it very less. But I can guarantee you that the concepts are given very well in these books, and if you read those books, you will be able to understand different concepts really well. But the thing is that again, this is an era of digital learning. There are many good YouTubers and many good sources available on the internet, that by which you can understand a concept very easily in a very short time and in a much better manner, instead of reading from Guyton or Genong, in which the things are given in a paragraph form and which might require to you a lot of time for reading, which in today's era is becoming a bit difficult. So again, as I said, if you are bookworm and if you like to read more books, and if you get enough time to read books, then go for Guyton or Genong. Uh, Otherwise, go for digital sources for understanding the concepts. Next thing, let's come talk about biochemistry. So in biochemistry, what I feel is the book which is best is Vasudeva. Uh, it is very safe book. You can surely get very good marks reading Vasudeva. It is also simple. The diagrams are also given book, and whole and soul it is complete book. But the thing is that in it also somewhat lengthy, it is there, and it might prove lengthy to you if you go on reading. And as I already told earlier in the video that uh, there is a need to read more in biochemistry. So reading the entire book might become a little tough if you are giving more time to physiology and anatomy. And also the things in Vasudevan are not given in the form of question answer, or in the form that it might be easy for you to write an exam. So reproduction in exams might become difficult, although it's not that difficult. Or almost for the entire year, I have used Vasudeva itself, and I can guarantee you it is one of the best books for biochemistry as a first year student. But it might become difficult for you. So what's the other option? Another book is Satyanarayan. I've also read that book for some time, and it is, I know that it is a very simple book and very easy to understand book. So if you have less time to read biochemistry, then you can surely go for Satyanarayan. It is very simple book and very easy to remember. If you read from Satyanarayan, learning or understanding biochemistry will become very easy. But the thing is that in Satyanarayan, there might be a possibility that you miss some of the information because it lacks some of the important information. So there is a possibility that you might not be able to get information about some of the topics, and those topics might come in exam. So if you don't fear about that, if you have biochemistry as a third priority, and if you are not thinking of getting too much marks in biochemistry, if you are okay with somewhat less marks, also that is also just a possibility, it is not necessary. But if still you are okay with it, then you can take the risk. It is a safe risk to take Satyanarayan. Once again, why I haven't mentioned about the books called Harper or Lippincott or Dinesh Puri, etc., etc., etc. But again, as I say, these books are good books. They are gold standard books, uh, but they are very lengthy, and it would require a lot of time for you to read such books. And as I already told, it is an era of digital learning where you can learn from different online sources. So it's not required for you to learn from any of these gold standard books at this stage in this era. But still, as I said, if you are book one and if you feel studying gold standard books is more important or is a better way than rather than any online source, then you can go for Harper or Lippincott or Dinesh Puri. Otherwise, these digital sources are there. And as I have already told you, I am going to make a separate video about good YouTube channels. So don't worry about that. Now, it's always good to have an extra edge whenever you are there at any form of any form of life, whether it be sports or co-curricular activities or studies. It's always better to have an extra edge. So before I talk about extra edge, I am going to talk about the top subject of PSM. You might be wondering, since two videos I haven't talked about PSM much. So the thing is that in first year there will be very few lectures of PSM, and it will not come in final university exams. So even they generally don't take tests of PSM in first year, but even if they take test, it will be very small test, and those marks would be only counted in your intervals, and that too very less. So try to avoid reading PSM. If possible, just attend lectures, make notes probably, and if you require, read it at the time of exams. But focus on the main subject, that is anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. Read those subjects more. You can read PSM, but it's better not to read or read it less. Now, coming up to extra edge. So there are different institutes like DBMCI, DAMS, CSAMS, Marrow, Prep Ladder, and Dr. Shrikant Verma classes. So in these, all the faculties are there from different parts of the world, and they have some of the best faculties for each subject, each of the 19 subjects of MBBS, and they have got very good faculties from all over the India. So the thing is that their teaching level is totally of a different level. If you will start attending those classes, you will find the subjects very much interesting, and also you will find it very easy to understand and remember. And also there are also very good YouTube channels. So if possible, try to go for it and try to understand their plans, what are their plans, especially DVS and DEMS, where they provide uh, university level teaching in first year and they conduct live classes. So it will give you a feeling of tuition classes which you used to attend in your school days, which is not currently present in MBBS, but you will get a feel of that. In Marrow and Prep Leader, what they are mainly focused on PG entrance exam. So and they have pre-recorded videos. So they that might not be of so help to you in first year, but DBMC DAMS or CCMS for that matter, or Dr. Shrikant Verma classes, those provide you university level teaching. So it would be very helpful to you to understand those subjects and to make very good notes, which which will be helpful to you for the entire lifetime, and also helpful to you for the PG entrance exam, and obviously helpful for your university exams, and you will be able to revise better with those notes. So whole in all, it will help you to get a complete preparation. uh, if I tell you about my personal experience, during the initial months of lockdown and during my last 3 or 4 months of probably 5 6, but let's last 4 to 5 months of my first year. uh, when I joined DBMCI, this first year program, that in the end they were going to teach in just the important topics and cover the entire first year in 3 to 4 months. So that code changed my, you can say, life, not actually life, but entire first year journey. Before attending that institute, my notes were haywire. My study was also haywire. I was knowing some topics, I was not knowing some topics, and everything was haphazard and haywire. But once they completed the entire first year is a part of summary, or as a in a very concise manner, that I got very good notes and I got a clear idea of at least what I should be knowing at the end of first year and what all things are to be remembered at the end of first year. So I had a very clear cut idea and clear cut knowledge of what things are to be read first, what things are to be remembered first, and what things next. And that helped me to get very good marks in all the subjects, and that helped me to get distinction in the first year. So that's it about it. uh, Thank you for watching this video. See you guys in the next video. Thank you. This is me, Yash Gandhi, signing off.